So, hi everybody. Let's start on the next session. I am here with two T-shirts. One is the MapTiler, and another is the MapLibre, because I'm a board member of non-profit organization, so I get it on. And I am here to present as the board member of MapLibre. The MapLibre project. It's a presentation done together with Björk, another board member, for you. Björk is independent consultant. What is MapLibre? It's a set of visualization libraries which for web and mobile devices, which started after the Mapbox decided to close the code or change the license, and the community reacted with creation of an continued open maintained fork, but it grew far beyond that. It's a reference implementation of the vector tiles in the open with BSD license, and it's fully controlled by community. There is a voted board and technical steering committees and several people involved. So it's not in control of any single company. You can find everything about MapLibre at maplibre.org. So that's kind of the main entry point. There are two main projects: the native for iOS, Android, Node, Qt, and C++ rendering, and the JS, which is for web browser. It has been an amazing ride because the project was funded directly after Mapbox announced the change of the license. Soon after, there were first releases. We migrated in the iOS and Android SDKs on the native about half year later. And then the community decided to rewrite the entire library into TypeScript, in fact, which has been successfully done and launched in September 2021. Then there were coming first contributions from the companies and people who started to using it. So there is now a 3D terrain inside of MapLibre, and there are additional improvements and continued development. What has happened in this summer is that the big companies decided to bet on MapLibre. So today, if you are using Microsoft Bing or Azure Maps, they in fact contain MapLibre code. If you are using AWS location services, they recommend MapLibre as one of the alternatives. You can find MapLibre documentation on S3, even if you Google it. And Meta is on the native implementation as well, considering bringing it into production and currently testing. So this has been a great push for the community. It's not a few guys playing with something suddenly. It's multiple companies who believe in the same technology and pushing it forward, and in collaboration working on what they believe needs to be done next. There is a public roadmap. I mean, all of the communication and development happens on GitHub, but this is kind of like big ideas, what may come in the future, and some of the stuff which has been done already, including the TypeScript rewrite, and there is a lot of work on the Metal implementation on the Apple 3D Terrain, Web GPU experiments, and so on. So it has been really a ride. Who is behind MapLibre? The organization was governed by the original funders. There were now votes for the board, so those who contributed, which is in fact quite large number of people. You can see them all here, from all over the world, who has code in MapLibre. They voted for the governing board, and governing board role is only like strategical decision, financial overlook, and with quarterly meetings, we kind of synchronize. If there is a problem, we are the last kind of point where the problem can be resolved. Otherwise, all the decisions are done by the community. There is discussion on Slack, and regular monthly technical steering committee meetings where anybody can join and propose stuff, which is typically first submitted as issue on the GitHub and discussed on the Slack. So that's how the MapLibre is organized. This presentation is about Deck.Libre and MapLibre, Deck.gl and MapLibre. So how to combine the two. Bolo, Vladimir, who is in here, prepared a basic kind of getting started set of documents for people. So if you want to switch to MapLibre and just want to get like a basic examples of code, you know how to do that. There are examples also on Deck.gl. So that would be like the initial start, but that's not what you need, right? Because you all know Deck.gl very well. So why to use Deck.gl with MapLibre? The first of all, it's a free and open source project with fully community-driven governance. This means if Deck.gl needs something, it may propose it, and it may happen as part of the core project. So things like continuous integration tests related to Deck.gl can be integrated into the project, and every single pull request can be checked against these tests, so you are sure that it never breaks, for example. It's a trusted project backed by multiple companies as well as active community of several dozens of people contributing. And on this presentation, Birk prepared some great examples on how to even speed up Deck.gl with MapLibre integration. So let's jump on those. These examples from Birk are like artificial examples of how to show 50,000 markers. The first natural, like very dummy way and stupid way how to do that in a browser is to put 50,000 DOM objects into browser. That's not what you want to do, right? And that's not using Deck.gl. The other way how people are typically doing it is they put it into MapLibre as a separate object. So it's done with MapLibre symbol layer, loaded as GeoJSON, styled with GLJS, and that's nice, but it's not reactive. It's fast. It's not reactive. It's not Deck.gl, and it's harder to style because you have to adjust it. The typical example, which is recommended by Deck.gl, is to use the Deck.gl icon layer inside of Deck.gl web context, and then synchronize the two contexts with MapLibre base map. So with the approach of base map independency, you have basically base map rendering and Deck.gl rendering, and you combine it together. This is definitely faster than DOM markers and easier for styling because of Deck.gl, great powerful features around that. But you have still issues with the speed, and there is the synchronization of the. So an example would be, let's close those. An example would be method 3. That's this code for initializing the icon layer, loading the points, and putting it there. If I open it in a second window, this is not about the beauty, it's about performance. So if I open this one, just for the purpose of demonstration, we see the frame rate at a variable rate, and also slide the synchronization on zooming, where there may be one frame difference in between the synchronization. So let's close this one. The other example is much more interesting, and that's not usually recommended from the GL side, and that's where you integrate the Deck.gl through the Mapbox layer, remainer of the Mapbox, and put it into WebGL context. Surprisingly, even if you don't have internally a base map, and you don't need MapLibre. This is about twice fast, according to this test, than using Deck.gl directly, which was quite a surprise for us. And I would love for the Deck.gl guys to have a look at this example and explain why, or have a look at the performance on that one. So the code is in here. It's example 4. Yes, method 4, where we are using icon layer. And I just open it on the side. And yes. And it's broken because of the change of the resolution and retina on two different things, right? Oh, okay.
You can refresh it.
Great. Let's try to reload. Yeah. Yeah, and here we are on more consistent. It's like there are no issues with the synchronization, and there is much more consistent frame rate. Even if you disable the background map, this usage of Deck.gl seems to provide higher performance frame rates on interaction. Yeah. So that was the surprise prepared for today. And yeah, there are the typical FIPS method how to do the integration, and that's where the icon layer is integrated there, but Deck.gl is handling the output, and everything is controlled by Deck.gl. That's the typical example, I guess. And if I launch it in there, example number 5, can I move this one? Yes. And I need method number 5. Open a new browser. I will close this one and open that one. And I need performance. And I need reload after performance. Yes, so it's hard to demonstrate when I'm screen sharing, but you should. It like drops down to 40 quite often. Before it was much closer to 60, and you should try it yourself on your computer to see it, because now I have screen sharing, 2 screens, too many open windows, and and streaming in the same moment to the stuff. But yeah, so this is a surprise resulting out of testing of Deck.gl together with MapLibre, and it may influence how to integrate MapLibre with Deck.gl better, with higher performance. So the question is what can be done next for Deck.gl on the MapLibre side? And yeah, MapLibre community would be very glad if it becomes the first-class citizen for Deck.gl, because there are many use cases for the users of MapLibre which are greatly covered by Deck.gl and should not be part of MapLibre, because MapLibre is more lightweight, more base maps. In fact, for many of the big users and sponsors, the smallest and speed and size of the library is essential. So there are many steps going towards that direction. And the additional functions such as loading of different formats with loaders.js or displaying of these cool visualizations is great that it's in fact separated and available through an additional library. So I believe it's a great fit for the two projects to coexist. And it would be great to interlink them more and integrate more. The other thing are practically the easier integration, because both are really community driven. So if you want, you can propose WebGL2 shader upgrade, and we can have them basically with defines or with conditions as a direct part of the project, and improve CI testing for unbreakable Deck.gl integration, which would be amazing, I think, for both sides. And there are other things which you may come up with. It's a purely community-driven project, so there must be contributions and discussions coming from the parties who are keen to do something with MapLibre. And the community is really active on the Slack. So the first step, if you want to do something with MapLibre, is just join the Slack, say hi, and propose your ideas on the GitHub issue. Discuss this on the Slack. You may jump on a technical steering committee meeting, which is every month in middle of month or around 15th, and you can discuss further, like if there is a big change or strategical decision to be done on the project. That's how to do that. And yeah, PRs merge, and there are now pad maintainers on the project. So things like CI is covered. There are things like response on the pull request is something what is the main goal of MapLibre. So all the sponsorships which are coming in are going towards the community synchronization and towards the maintenance of those two core components. Yeah, so we are really glad that MapLibre has active sponsors. In fact, we have raised over $400,000, which is allowing us to pay the people to work on this open source project, and we are going to be now hiring even. So if your dream is like, I want to work only on open source forever, then follow the Twitter of MapLibre, and there is going to be call for like pad maintainers on the MapLibre. You look for native and JS, and there are bounties as well. So if you are from a company who is keen on using MapLibre, because MapLibre is provider independent. So Amazon is using it to display Amazon Maps. Meta is using it to display in Facebook and Instagram. Currently prototypes, but hopefully in future in production. Their maps serve from their infrastructure. So you can self-host the maps as well, self-host the base maps, and MapLibre can serve it quite nice for you. So you can pick from any different providers, for example, the map tiler, Red, or others. Yeah. So if you are a company who is using MapLibre, we would kindly ask for considering sponsorship for the project, because that's how we can ensure that the maintainers are there, that the community is really active and driven by the contributions, and the discussions are going on. Yeah, so if you are, please have a look at sponsors. There are advantages such as you can have logo and kind of say we are supporting this project, we care about the maintenance of it, and you can also join advisory council in case you are one of the sponsors. So that would be for MapLibre. Thank you very much.
I can offer an explanation for your performance. So when you do the Mapbox layer integration with context sharing, you are using the context that's created by the base map, and the Mapbox.gl and MapLibre creates a context that's the same size as your canvas, versus Deck.gl uses your device pixel ratio to scale up the canvas to get the visual quality. So you're actually, yeah, so you're only dealing with a quarter of the pixels. It's possible to turn that off in Deck.gl, but device pixel ratio is the default. I also want to raise the awareness if you're using this feature. In the latest release, we just have new API called Mapbox Overlay that implements the Mapbox/MapLibre eye control interface. So you can just use it through the add control API of the base map, and that will basically allow you to create a Deck.gl instance under the hood and pass all the props to it, and it will handle inserting the Mapbox layer and stuff and reordering them.
Damn it, I thought we had already like a 50% performance improvement for free. Right. Wait. So why? So essentially, like in a Retina display, that would look more pixelated. So essentially, that's what controls, right? Right.